Every time I've offered to help my wife Hannah lead Starlight Singers when she's had a work meeting or something, she will give me a Post-it note with a minute-by-minute outline of what I'm supposed to do. Now, I usually fall short of that outline about 2 minutes into the list. But I watched this morning as my wife made a minute-by-minute outline of my 5-year-old daughter's day. We've noticed lots of outbursts in our house. We've noticed lots of tears, lots of frustration, lots of even whining. But I watched as my 5-year-old looked at this list, and I could see the worry fall off of her shoulders. I could see the worry about the next minute, the next hour, the next day just fall right into place. Often in my house, my wife knows best. But I think her advice would help all of us today. We are in a moment in our world where our schedules are turned upside down. Our whole lives, our whole world is turned upside down. So what I'm going to invite each of us to do is to take our morning or afternoon or the next 4 hours or 6 or 8 hours and put an order to it. Give it some guidance and some outlines. It actually is a very biblical concept for us as Christians. In the very first story of Genesis, God puts an outline to all of creation. A day in and a day out. There's a rhythm, there's an order, there's a structure. And even for those of us who itch a little bit when things are too structured, we need the order, we need the structure. So I invite you, like me, to give yourself an outline for your time, to plan what you're going to do today, and to give it some breathing room and to look at it. Know that you won't accomplish everything that you're set to, but that God will be moving even in these moments.
I was listening to the Rob Bell podcast this weekend, and I was reminded of a great perspective on the story of Moses. It connected well to the uncertain times that we are currently living in. In Exodus, Moses leads the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. They are led into the wilderness, a place of unknowing, of uncertainty. The Israelites don't know what the future holds for them, and they're worried about the next steps. Where will we live? What will we do? How will we get food or shelter out here? I think we're in a similar place of unknowing right now amidst the fears of the coronavirus. We're hoping for a better future, and we're hoping it'll be soon, but we don't have many answers at the moment. In Exodus chapter 24, while the Israelites are trying to make a plan for their new lives in the wilderness, Moses goes up on the mountain to speak with the Lord. Verse 18 reads, "Moses entered the cloud on the mountain and went up on the mountain. Moses was on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights." Now, this strikes me that Moses went up on a mountain and stayed there for 40 days and nights. That's a long time. But then I thought, Moses was in the presence of God. Moses was with the Lord for 40 days and nights, and Moses left the uncertainty behind him for a little while to fully be present with God. I can only imagine the immense comfort that the Lord provided for Moses up there on the mountain in a difficult time. I'm finding my own comfort in the presence of God right now. For me, it's not up on a mountain. Instead, it looks like my family. We're stuck at home wondering what the future brings, but we're together, and being present with one another makes all the difference in a time like this. I pray that you can find your own way up the mountain in this season, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's spending extra time in prayer, quality time with your family around the dinner table, or maybe calling up a friend that you haven't seen in a while. Remember that God is with you here and now. You don't need to hike up to a peak to be present with the Lord. God is in each one of us. And that brings me comfort.